Then, if you want to follow the menu path, this is accounting. Then you go to financial accounting. Then today's topic is accounts payable. Open the folder through the arrow. We talked about master data, vendor master. So go to master record. And then you would see a transaction code FK0123, which means always to create, change, and display a vendor. This is option one, number one. If you directly want to use this transaction code FK01, just put it here. Press enter. And then you would see this screen. As discussed here, system asks for three things: vendor, company code, and account code. Which is vendor, company code, and account code. This vendor number you'd always leave blank. System would assign it for you. You need to give a company code in which you want to create your vendor. When you click on when you put your company code, sometimes you would not find your company code in the list like this way. Suppose you won't find it, but don't worry, just leave it as it is. Then the vendor you want to create in some group based on its nature. You need to give the vendor account group number. So I've already created this account group, which is called as CC00. So the company code is account CC00. Account group also is CC00, but these two are different things. Okay, these two have no relation with each other. This is separate unit, company code CC00. This is separate unit, account group CC00. This group can be anything, 1, 2, 3, 4, ABCD, CC00, something else as well. What we created, okay? So you put these two things and then press enter. And now all we have to do is just provide the record details of the vendor. So from the title, I would select my vendor is the company, because usually your vendor or supplier is going to be the company. Then give the name of your vendor here. So say Clear. Vendor number 1. This is the supplier's name. Then we have to add search term KV01. So what this search term basically means is, when you have thousands of vendors list on the screen, how do you search your vendor? To make your work easy, system has given you this search term. All you do is don't type this long name, just type search term KV01 and your vendor will come up. We will check this as well. So now you have to add the details like address for the company, vendor, supplier. Then you have to add the country. So we can skip other things, but the country cannot be skipped because that's required information as it has this mark, check mark. So let me add my vendor's country, which is CA. Then rest of the details like language, telephone, phone number, email, and all these things can be updated, entered now, or can be done later as well. So I will leave it for now. Then you go to next screen. This is your button for next screen. Here we need to update this vendor text details. For now, just next screen. Here we need to update this vendor's bank details, because when you do the payment transfer, you need the payment details for EFT or e-transfer, transactions. For now, nothing, just next screen. In this company, who's your contact person, need to add the contact details. Let me just give some random name. Say Mr. John. Mr. John, and what's her name? John ABC is the surname, suppose. Or let's say ABC, that's okay. This John belongs to what department? From the drop down, you need to add the department. Suppose this John is from financial department, so you can add. Likewise, if you have multiple contacts for different departments, you can add those here. Okay. Then you go to next screen. Here we need to add accounting details as we discussed. Which one? The reconciliation account. One more time. Why we need to add reconciliation? For reporting purpose. Click on the drop down, you would see one reconciliation account. All you do is just assign. Then go to next screen. Payment details need to be entered. Payment terms. Every vendor will have different payment terms. When you click on the drop down, you would see so many different payment terms. You need to select the one which you want to use for this vendor. For now, we will be using immediately payable. For that, we can pay the invoices immediately once entered. So I'm going to use 0001, which is immediately due. Then payment method. To this vendor, clear vendor number 1, what payment method I'm going to use? From the drop down, you need to assign the payment method. You would find different payment methods, and the one which you want to assign is selected and green check. So in our case, we'll be paying to this vendor through check. From which bank are you going to pay? Which is house bank. So from the drop down, assign your house bank, say CIBC or HSBC, whatever different banks you would have, assign your bank here. Suppose CIBC bank in our case. This is a required thing. If you miss it, you might receive error. You will receive error later. So you should not miss these details. That's it. Next screen. This is Dunning reminder notices screen. For now, we can skip it. So click on next screen again. It asks you to save. So yes, I want to save. And as discussed on your footnote, system would say vendor number 113 is created for the company code CC00.